Fast, focused, and fearless. Here's everything you need to know from around the world this Tuesday, January 10. Brazilian authorities have begun investigating people responsible for rioters' invasion of Brasilia. On Monday, tens of thousands of supporters of former President Jair Bolsonaro ransacked government buildings, including the Supreme Court, Congress, and Presidential Palace. The invasion capped months of tension after Bolsonaro alleged that Brazil's electronic voting system was prone to fraud. The Supreme Court has removed the governor of Brasilia from office for 90 days due to flaws in security that allowed violence in the capital. Bolsonaro, meanwhile, denied any hand in the attack. Leftist President Luiz Inácio Lula has declared federal intervention of public security and promised to punish all involved in the riot.
Like true vandals, destroying what they found in front of them. We think there was a lack of security, and I wanted to tell you that all those people who did this will be found and punished. They will realize that democracy guarantees the right to freedom and free speech, but it also demands that people respect institutions created to strengthen democracy. And these people, these vandals, what could we say are fanatical Nazis, fanatical fascists, did what has never been done in this country.
Global leaders have also condemned assaults on key government buildings in Brazil. U.S. President Joe Biden expressed full support for Brazil's democratic institutions. Biden says he looks forward to continuing to work with Brazilian President Lula. U.S. Secretary of State Antony Blinken, meanwhile, said that violence to attack democratic institutions is always unacceptable. Blinken is joining calls by Lula to immediately end violent actions. Mexican President Andrés Manuel López Obrador described the riots as a coup attempt that is reprehensible and undemocratic. The European Union also condemned the riots, noting that Brazilian democracy will prevail over violence and extremism. French President Emmanuel Macron, meanwhile, called for respect for the will of the Brazilian people and democratic institutions. Macron assures Lula that his government has France's unwavering support. We will be back with more stories after the break. Keep it here on One News. You're still watching One News now. I'm Diego Castro. Ukraine is strengthening its forces in the eastern Donbas region amid constant attacks by Russian mercenary group Wagner. Ukrainian authorities say reinforcements have been sent to Soledar, a small town near Bakhmut where the situation was particularly difficult. Ukraine says Russia has made another, quote, desperate attempt to storm the city of Soledar from different directions and throw their most professional units into battle. Still, Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky said Bakhmut and Soledar are both holding on despite widespread destruction after months of attacks. U.S. President Joe Biden visited the U.S.-Mexico border for the first time since taking office. Biden flew to the border in El Paso, Texas, to tackle one of the most politically charged issues in the country ahead of his re-election bid. The visit is not expected to result in new policies, but it is done to demonstrate that he takes border issues seriously as well as to strengthen relations with Border Patrol. The visit comes after the Biden administration expelled hundreds of Venezuelan migrants to Mexico. Biden last week announced his administration's plan to block Cuban, Haitian, and Nicaraguan migrants at the border. Here are other headlines we're keeping our eyes on. Thailand backtracks on its entry policy, which would supposedly require visitors to show proof of vaccination against COVID-19, as it is expected a deluge of visitors from China. Aside from the inconvenience of verifying vaccination evidence, Thailand also cited sufficient immunization levels in China. Taiwan condemns China for holding its second military combat drills around the island in less than a month. Taiwan also denied any provocative action, which China said it was countering by conducting the drills around the island. Prince Harry defends his memoir, which barred rifts inside Britain's royal family as well as private emotional turmoil. Prince Harry said his decision to publish his book Spare was an attempt to, quote, own his story after nearly 4 decades of distortion by others. And those are the top stories of the hour. Join us again at 7:30 a.m. as we continue to monitor the day's biggest stories. You can also catch One News on Signal Play. Register an account now at signalplay.com.ph so you can stream One News live anytime, anywhere. I'm Diego Castro. We are One News, all sides, all the time.